Good morning. I awoke um, early this morning and I recorded a dream that I had. I'm still trying to figure out the dream a little bit because in the dream I had five boys and I only have four boys. Um, but in the dream I met this couple and it seemed like the man, had reached out his hand to touch the little boy face, and that was just significant. I have to keep studying that dream, but um, the Lord spoke to me Psalm 19. So I'm going to read Psalm 19 and perhaps Psalm 91. The heavens declare the glory of God. Oh, just God, my yield. And the firmament showeth his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. In them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun, which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoiceth as a strong man to run a race. His going forth is from the end of the heaven, and his circuit unto the ends of it, and there is nothing hid from the heat thereof. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much fine gold, sweeter also than honey and the honeycomb. Moreover, by them is thy servant warned, and in keeping of them there is great reward. Who can understand his errors? Cleanse thou me from secret faults. Keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over me. Then shall I be upright, and I shall be innocent from the great transgression. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. It was interesting yesterday. I had read about Charles Jenkins. And when I read about Charles Jenkins, I read about his life, how he came up, I believe, in a Pentecostal church. But he had associations with the Missionary Baptist Church. And when he was in college, before he completed his bachelor's degree, the Lord spoke to him fellowship. And he ended up pastoring. Um, he ended up pastoring a church that was really a monumental church in Chicago under the bishop, well, Reverend Clay Evans, I believe. So I was just impressed with this young man because I know he had done the song War. This is War or War Cry. I'm not really sure. But anyway, he said this means war. But I was impressed, and then it made me question because the church I came in up under, I tell you, you really need to be careful who you align yourself with to teach the gospel because, like, of course they talk, come out from among them and be ye separate. But I'm just wondering how this young man possessed so much integrity and yet he was able to fellowship with missionary Baptists. I mean, I'm assuming he's saved if he came out of a Church of God, or because I mean, Church of God, they taught uh, the gift of the Holy Ghost, but the missionary Baptists had more mountains of influence when it came to education because they weren't teaching against education. And so, when I looked at all the things that he accomplished as a young man, and as a matter of fact, God has preserved him so that even though he's possibly in his 40s, he still looks young. I mean, I feel like that's very, when you've lived, a clean life, I mean, you have no right really to look older than you should, uh, even when you're, in your old age, because that was one of the dreams God gave me, that even when I got old, I wasn't going to look my age. So, but I'm really, I guess I'm still, concerned about integrity. I just, but tied up with integrity because I have been dealt so many blows and I've connected myself with people who obviously did not have integrity. I mean, they may have been concerned about themselves, but they couldn't have been too concerned about other people. I mean, because a real church is gonna make sure that everyone needs are met. I um I met this prophet, of course, the same prophet who told me that I was gonna birth my ministry New Year's Eve. And what impressed me about him was his integrity. Because he prayed for every soul that was of age in that church. I have been in a church where there was a prophet from out of town, and he prayed for all the souls. And the woman of the house wanted to start taking up an offering before he had a chance to pray for my husband and myself. That's what I'm saying. I mean, integrity is everything. Integrity is everything. So you can tell when people have jealousy in their heart, or you can tell when people have envy in their heart, because they really don't want some people to be delivered. It's just like the Cinderella thing, like the wicked stepsisters and their mother. They didn't want Cinderella to gain anything. I mean, they wanted to oppress her. And that's the way it was with Joseph and his brothers. They wanted to be in charge, but they didn't have the integrity. I mean, some people, integrity means nothing to them. I mean, they do things and they're not honest with themselves. I mean, the first thing you should do when you're getting ready to do something for God is ask God to purge you and ask God to cleanse you so that you won't be doing it out of your flesh. Because I'm convinced that the Spirit of God, He really wants people saved. I mean, He wants people delivered, and He cares enough about you to come to where you are, but He won't leave you where you are. His purpose is to elevate you and to free you. So I see why, God spoke to me Psalm 19 this morning. I tell you, this is going to be a day of prayer.